So we are doing chapter 3 of business AS level, and the name of this chapter is size of the business. Are you with me?
Yes, miss.
What do you understand by size of business?
Like a bigger, larger business with more employees or a smaller business with less employees.
Okay. So you say that size of the business means if it's a bigger business, it will have more employees. If you have more employees, it's a big business. And if you have less employees, it is a small business. This is what you're trying to say?
I think, yeah.
Okay, fine. There is a firm which has more employees, but their turnover is only 100,000. And there is a
Hmm.
firm that has less employees, but their turnover is, say, 500,000.
Hmm.
So, which business is bigger?
The one with less employees.
Okay. So, there would be different ways to measure the size of the business.
Hmm.
Okay. If you see from one point of view, your business may appear bigger.
Hmm.
But if you see from the other point of view, your business may appear smaller.
Hmm.
This business appears bigger when you try to measure its size by the number of employees.
Hmm.
But the same business appears to be smaller when you measure the size in terms of sales revenue.
Yeah.
So they say there are different ways to measure the size of the business. Whether it is a small business or it is a big business, there is different ways. Okay. Can you tell me what is the purpose of measuring size of any business?
Mm, Because of investors, maybe.
Hmm?
Maybe they want to know. Investors might want to know the size of the business to like the competitors.
Okay. Investors are interested in the size of the business or with the growth rate of the business.
Hmm. And maybe customers want to know too because they want to purchase from smaller big businesses,
So
whatever
government
they're.
might want to know the size of the business because they might want to give assistance to small firms. Okay.
Okay.
Purpose of measuring size of the business and by whom? So government would want to know size of the business because they want to give assistance to small firms.
Hmm.
Investors might want to know size of the business so they can compare the growth rate of the business to competitors.
Hmm.
They want to see that the business in which they have invested, is it giving a growth or not?
Hmm.
Yeah. Your customers might want to know the size of the business because they might want to deal only with large businesses because they have greater security over there. If
Hmm.
I have to choose between a company which is large company and a company which is small company, I would say I would go to a large company because there is better security over there.
Yeah.
Correct?
Hmm.
So customers might want to deal with large businesses. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are two problems when you attempt to measure the business size. What could be the problems?
There's no set way of measuring a business.
Means,
Like, there's, I guess, lots of ways to measure it. So some ways may be inaccurate to what you're measuring.
okay, so there are a number of ways to measure the business size. Okay,
Yeah.
the first problem that is associated with measuring the business size is that there is a number of ways to measure business size. A business might appear large by one measure and it might appear close by one measure, small by one measure, the way we discussed when we started.
Yeah.
And also, there is no figure which gives a boundary that if you're operating within this limit, you are called a small business. If you're operating between this limit, you are called a medium or large business. Okay,
Mm.
so there is no internationally agreed definition to say whether a business is small, a business is medium or large. But the most often measure that they use to measure the size of the business is what? The
Number.
number of employees is often used to measure size of the business. So there are different ways to measure size of the business. First measure is number of employees. This is very simple. Okay,
Mm.
it is very easy to understand. What is it? If you're employing many employees, you have a large business. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
And
you're
if it's
employing less employees, you have a small
small
business.
business,
Are you with me?
yeah.
So the me- common measures to measure the size of the businesses, first is number of employees. Can you tell me what will come in number of employees?
So if there's like more employees, then I guess it could be considered a large business. And
Hmm.
if there are less employees, the size could be considered small.
And if there is less employees, the size is considered small. What do you mean by sales turnover?
How much revenue your business makes. If it makes more revenue,
In a given
uh,
time period. So when I'm
yeah.
talking about sales turnover, so it will measure the total value of sales in a given time period.
Hmm.
Okay, so how is it this helpful in measuring the size of the business?
Um, like it will be helpful for competitors if they
How?
want to know how much revenue their competition makes so that they can
The
make more.
sales turnover is more large. If it is less,
Small.
small. Okay, there are different ways to measure the size of the business. Now, how about capital employed? What is
I
capital employed?
I don't know this one, miss.
What is capital employed? It measures the total long term finance invested in the business.
Hmm.
Okay. Capital employed will have the total long term finance in the business.
Hmm.
Long term finance in business.
This,
If you're capital employed, that means your own funds plus the non current liabilities. If you have this more money employed in the business, that means you are a large business. But if you have less money employed, that means less amount of capital is there in the business. That means you are a small business. So, capital employed is the total value of all your long term finances that is invested in the business. Are you with me?
yeah.
If more money is employed in the business, large business. If less money is employed in the business, small business. With me?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about market capitalization.
Hmm.
What do you mean by market capitalization?
Um, can I read it?
Okay, market capitalization means how many shares are issued in the market.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if how many shares, or I would say the value of the shares issued in the market. If I have company A and I have company B, company A has issued shares of value. Understand what I'm telling? They have issued shares of value 100,000 in the market. Okay. Then and company B has issued shares of value 1 million in the market.
Mm.
Okay, then which business is large and which business is small?
B.
Okay, so market capitalization means, what does it mean? Total value of company's issued share. If the value of your issued share is more, you're a large business. If the value of your issued share is less, you're a small business. Okay. Now,
Mm.
market share. What is market share?
The
Understand this concept, I will tell you. Your company sales. I would say your sales is $10,000. Okay. And say uh, you are selling perfumes. Your industry is of perfumes. This is the sales of your company. Okay. But the market sales is say 100,000, or you would say it is 10 million,
Mm.
1 million. Okay. Market sales is 1 million. Can you tell me how much is your market share in the entire market?
1 million. I mean,
So
yeah.
you are selling 10,000. Okay. The entire
Mm.
industry is selling 1 million.
Mm.
So your sales over the market sales
Yeah.
into 100. So how much is this? 4 and 3, 4 cancels.
1.
At 1%. That means in the total market sales, the proportion of your sales is only 1%. You are
Yeah.
selling 1% of the total market sales. Are you with me? Your sales of the business in proportion to the total market sales. That means the entire market, everyone together is selling 1 million, and you are
Yeah.
only selling $10,000 perfume. So your
Mm.
share is 1%. So are you a small market or a big market? You're a very
Small.
small market. But if your market share in proportion to total sales is 10%, or I would say 100%, 50%, that means
Mm.
50% of the sales that is happening in the market is because of you. So in that scenario, you would be a large market. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the different ways to measure size of the business. I'm giving you some time. Please check.
Miss.
What is market share? What does market share do?
Market share is basically the share of the market, like how much the total. I don't know how to explain it, Miss.
Measures the sales of your business. Your
Yeah, measures.
business sales in proportion to the total market sales. I would
Mm.
repeat, your business sales in proportion to the total market sales.
Yeah.
Okay. So if your market share in the entire market is higher, then you are a large business. If your market share is lower, then you are a small business. Okay. So market share is the total sales of the business upon the total sales of the industry into 100.
Yeah.
So can you tell me the different ways of measuring the size of the business?
The revenue.
Number of employees
Yeah, the number of employees. Capital employed. Market capitalization and market share.
and even your sales turnover.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead with it. Which form of measurement is the best? Number of employees is simple, but it can give you problems. Your sales and the money that you have put into the business, this is more effective if you want to compare yourself, your firm, with another firm in the same industry. That means, suppose say you are A, your turnover is 100,000. You are in the industry of perfumes. This is B. B's turnover is 200,000. B is also in industry of perfumes.
Yeah.
So when you are comparing firm A and firm B within the same industry, I repeat, when you're comparing firm A and firm B within the same industry, then sales turnover or capital employed is good. But if you're comparing firm A and firm B in different industries, then this measure is not good. Suppose firm C
Yeah.
is in the industry of education, then
You
you
can't
cannot
compare it.
compare. Yeah. Market capitalization, it can be used for businesses on stock exchange. Okay. That means how many shares they have issued in the market. So this can be only done for such industries. And the market share that you have is a relative measure you can see depending on what happens. Are you with me?
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. So this is measuring the size of the business.